everybody, and welcome back to some more StoneBlock 2 with Janky Nick. Hello!
What's up?
Aw, Nick.
What's up?
Welcome back to the stony goodness that is StoneBlock 2. Fun fact, Nick, 2 of your stones a day. Yeah, 2 of your stones a day.
Yeah.
You're supposed to have, according to the United States Stone and Pebble Department of Safety, approximately 8 stones a day, Nick. And this fulfills 2 of your stones a day.
Jeez.
Officially recommended, Nick. Just the other day, I got an email from the CEO of the Stone and Pebble Society for Healthcare Management in the US, and he said that we are officially certified as a primary source of receiving 2 of your 7 stones a day, Nick. I know, it's crazy.
I actually just go to the cow pens downstairs and put my mouth under the seared stone unders, the seared stone cows, and just go.
That's a good way of getting your stone, Nick, really. You know, people don't like doing that because it doesn't taste very good, but it's good for you, Nick. It's
you know
like
what they
eating
say,
sprouts.
Isaac? The things that are the best for you taste the least good. So,
and you know, I hate that, Nick. Why is that the case? Right? I really wish that things that were good for you just tasted good.
I mean, the reason is, Isaac, is because when we were a non-civilized, social species, when we had to hunt for our food, because we could only take what we can get and eat once every few days, it was naturally programmed into us that the fattiest, saltiest things with the most energy in them, the most energy dense things, such as like meat and, tasted the best. So that we went for those things instead of, carrots.
What I want to know, though, right, is like, so, okay, first question is, like, when you're looking at, like, rabbits, like, rabbits love carrots, right, stereotypically, and I assume realistically. Do you think, like, the way that we like meat, like, chicken and steak and whatnot, like, do you reckon rabbits love carrots? Like, just absolutely, like, they go nuts for them. It's like they're chocolate or something. They just freaking, it's like,
I don't know.
Delicious.
Is it rabbits who like carrots, or is it something else? What's the animal that stereotypically loves carrots?
It's rabbits, no?
Oh, maybe.
Like Bugs Bunny eating a carrot?
Oh, yeah.
You know?
Yeah, I reckon
it's a rabbit.
They just, so they're programmed to just chunk carrots, right?
But do you reckon, but carrots are good for them, right? Like, and so, I mean, I don't know.
Because
for us,
rabbits
obviously,
are small, Isaac, carrots to them are like, a massive-ass steak to us, right?
Right. I mean, that would be a huge steak, right? Like a carrot, you can get carrots that are as long as some rabbits.
Exactly.
Right? I mean, I guess you could probably get a certain cut of steak that's as long as a human, right? If you've got like a long cow.
Sure.
That could maybe work.
I'm sure it can.
No?
So the reason that, juicy, fleshy meat doesn't taste nice to rabbits is because that is just far too much. They just explode, right?
Right.
Like, this has happened before. Rabbits have just, I don't think it happened with rabbits, but it happens with cows, Isaac. If you let cows loose and you don't, drain them, something in them explodes. I'm pretty sure this is true.
Right.
Could be wrong. Tell us in the comments. Probably wrong.
Could be wrong. Yeah, I mean, but who knows? Who knows? Now, that's interesting, man. I mean, I don't know. What I want to know, Nick, mostly, is just why has nobody, like, made, like, Brussels sprouts taste better? Like, and not taste better in a way that makes them unhealthy. Of course, you can cover them in cheese and bacon and butter and whatever, and salt and pepper, and they taste a bit better. But, like, why has somebody not made them taste, heavenly, and also still keep their nutritional value?
Well, what do you mean? Make them taste better, Isaac? Like, how do you make something?
I want to be able to bite into a sprout and have it taste like a Malteser.
Well, then just get Maltesers, you dingus.
But Maltesers are bad for you. I can't eat Maltesers all the time.
That's it. That's why humans are programmed. That's my point.
Also, Nick, every time I go to a family meal and they've all got their turkey and all their chicken and their mash and their Brussels sprouts, if I sit there and I pour my Maltesers onto my plate, everyone looks at me like I'm a weirdo, Nick. And so, unfortunately, I can't have Maltesers.
Sometimes you got to deal with it. All right? Because you are, if you pull in Maltesers on your drinking plate. Oh, man.
Oh, wow. You don't like Maltesers, Nick? You're not a fan?
I like Maltesers, yeah. I could dabble with a Malteser in my lifetime, Isaac.
Oh, man. But I just wish that food that was good for you also tasted good. Like, or even if it's not making the food taste different, if we could maybe just, like, if there was potentially like a pill that changed your taste buds to make it seem like, you know, sprouts were really good. You know, whatever it is that rabbits have that make them like think that carrots are crack, give that to us, but also for like, you know, other hearty vegetables.
Well,
like,
I think, Isaac, basically, what we'd need to do is just evolve. So basically, people who eat too much steaks and explode don't survive, and people who eat kale survive, and then eventually people who eat kale who have survived, they might have kids who like kale, and then because they like kale and all the other people who don't like kale explode, you know, eventually humans grow to just love leaves.
I want this like this year. I don't want it in like, you know, a couple of thousand years when humankind has evolved, right? I want it today. Okay.
Right.
So like I want my brain to release the same, like when you eat sugar, right? Your brain freaking loves it, right? Your brain's like, heck yeah, man, this is great. You're a lifesaver. I love you, right? Your brain loves it, right?
Yeah.
I want my brain to do the same thing when I eat like, you know, peas.
Well, that's the thing. We're not evolved, Isaac. Unless you want to go into the Darwin machine and get all Darwined up, I've got nothing to offer you, bro.
I mean, I don't know. I mean, we haven't said a single word about the game we're playing in the first 10 minutes of this episode.
Oops.
But like, I don't know. Is there not a way to like force release endorphins? Can we not like force that out yet?
There are some ways to do that, Isaac, but you know.
Yeah?
Yeah, like playing golf.
Did you say playing golf?
Yeah.
I mean, is that what I need to do? I just need to play golf whilst I eat Brussels sprouts and I'll be good to go?
Idiot. Why haven't you thought this before?
Oh man, I'm a fool, Nick. I'm a complete and utter fool. How did I not think of this?
Yeah, you stupid boy.
Wow.
You silly boy.
Jeez, so savage. Okay, Nick.
Hey, what's up?
Come look at this, man.
What's up, man?
I don't know how you're gonna feel about it.
Where are you? There you are. Oh, Christ.
Conveyor belts, right?
Yeah.
So what happens here?
Are.
If you wait a second, you'll see in a minute here that one of these garden cloches on either end will produce a bit of wheat, and when it does, look at that! It pops it out, takes it along, and bloop, drops it into the animal feeder. I know, right?
Looks awful because it's just in the corridor, but it's cute nonetheless. All right, so you continue with that.
Oh, gosh,
that garbage.
I've got to turn these bloody cows down.
Yeah, it's really good.
Friendly creatures, turn them down. The moo, moo. Gosh dang it.
Whoosh. What even is that? The whoosh. They
like to play with whips, okay? And they whoosh, whoosh. That's all they're doing, all right? Don't worry about it.
We'll see up in there. Oh man.
They're very kinky cows, Nick. Don't worry about it. No.
Kinky Cows Limited, Kinky Cows International. What's up?
Nick, before we get too into the topic of making carrots and you know, rabbits, whatever, we should talk about what we did between episodes, Nick. Because last episode we worked on setting up ore tripling, right? And between episodes, we have moved our ore tripling setup and also set up a little bit of a machine area over here, a machine space for machines. I don't know what to call this, Nick. Do you have a name for this area?
The machine area, the new one. That's the. I mean, I'm not there, so I'm assuming that's. Even though you just explained it, that's what you're on about.
I'm gonna 1 second. I need a sign. The machine area. The new one.
Yeah, that's what it's called. That's what it's gonna be called.
Gosh dang it. But yeah, we set up a new machine area. We moved pretty much all of the machines over there, the mechanism machines that are responsible for ore tripling, as well as our thermal expansion machines. Those have been moved, and at some point we'll also move our industrial foregoing machines as well. But for now, Nick, what are you working on?
So basically, because of the machine area, the new one, I am going to set up a system that actually connects that to our ME system. Because, Isaac, that's how we want to process everything. We want to export them out the system into the processor and then import them from the processor back to the system, Isaac. So that's what I'm working on.
Okay, cool. I put up a sign, Nick, the machine area, the new one. So that is now official and ready to go. Nick, I'm going to work on a wee bit of power generation, because right now we're actually not producing too much power, right? We've got our dynamos downstairs, which produce power. And right now, not all of our dynamos are even online. I think that 9 of the 12 actually have the ability to receive fuel, but of those 9, most of them are probably not receiving fuel just because that fuel is not being made. Oh no, quite a few of them are. This one I think I upgraded to a diamond version. I did. So this one's an upgraded cobblestone generator. That's why this one is actually producing tables fast enough. The rest of them are just standard versions. And so actually the first thing I might do here is go and quickly replace some of these other cobblestone generators just to get the rest of these dynamos online. But on top of that, Nick, I also want to work with a little bit of XNet and a little bit of X Utilities 2 in the form of the heated redstone generator to try and get us a little bit of power up and running. Like, that is my plan.
Did you just say XNet?
I said XNet, yes. XNET. XNet.
What's that, Isaac?
It's a mod that is made by the same developer of RF Tools, Nick, and it is pretty cool. I will show you it when I get into it in a second. It's a really neat mod that I think you might like, honestly. I think you might enjoy it, Nick. All right, here we go. So I'm going to make 2 more tier 3 cobblestone generators. I did just use 16 diamonds, Nick, but thankfully we're actually up at 129 diamonds now, Nick, so we're all good.
Oh, wow, it sounds like the stock market to me, Isaac. You know,
yeah,
16,
we should have.
You know,
Nick,
20,
I mean,
you know.
There are screens, right? There are screens and monitors. Do we have monitors in this pack? We can get like screens and monitors that do stuff, like an RF monitor. I really want like just a big screen, right, in one of our rooms that shows a graph, like a stock market looking graph, that just has our like diamond amount on it. It just shows our diamond growth over time. So like it shows like a little dip when you take it out, and then when we upgrade our speed, it just skyrockets. Nick, I feel like that could be completely useless, but also really nice to have.
Man,
would you back it on Kickstarter if if it was there?
Freshly prepared on Kickstarter.
Have you ever backed anything on Kickstarter, Nick?
I think I backed this protein shaker once, and it was like a new version. So I have like an automatic protein shaker for when I go to the gym.
Right.
And it like mixes them up. It's like a little blender almost.
So you got protein powder, water. You put them in this thing and it automatically...
No. Water is for the weak, Isaac, with protein. It's milk.
Protein powder and milk? Okay, sure. Water is for the sensible, no? Like isn't water not a better way of doing, a healthier way of doing that?
I mean, it's probably healthier, but milk's got protein. Protein powder's got protein, so they're just proteining the hell out.
Right, but if you're using you could just put like an extra 5 grams of protein powder in instead
of
adding.
I use skimmed milk when in my protein shake size.
Why?
Because it tastes bad. It tastes awful. So, and then I'll push a button and it goes, and it mixes it up. And so the company that made it were like, oh, we've got a new one and it can charge your phone and it's got magnets, and I packed it and I think I finished.
Do you use it?
I backed it in early 2018 and they said they're going to give it to me. No, I backed it in mid 2017 and they said they're going to give it to me in September 2017, Isaac. Here I am without any hints of anything.
You don't have,
So there you go.
Does it look like they're still going to make it, Nick? Is this a developing?
No, it doesn't exist anymore. Gone.
Oh, so you think you've just lost that money?
I think it's gone.
That's just gone. Oh, yikes! I hate that. Like I hate because for the most part I quite like Kickstarter. Right? I like the idea. I do dislike that some people or some companies, I guess, like just ruin the experience for everybody, right? By doing stuff like that. Because you hear so many stories of things like that happening on Kickstarter that it sucks. I've yet to have a bad experience on Kickstarter, Nick, honestly. I've never purchased a protein cup shaker, unfortunately, so I can't talk on the matter of protein cup shaking, but everything I've bought has either been like a board or card game on Kickstarter. Like I backed a couple of like just card games and board games that have come out.
I feel like things that are not so ambitious, like a card game, very easy to manufacture, right?
Yeah, of course. I think
you need cards, a printer, and a designer. Right.
Yeah, I think you need you probably contract a different company, right, to do the printing.
Of course, yeah.
It's
but when you say in Kickstarter, you're gonna make a perpetual motion machine, and it gets $1 billion.
Yeah, I'm gonna make the first flying car. Yeah, give me $10,000.
So then that's when you kind of gotta take it all with a grain of salt.
Yeah, or a few million grains of salt.
Oh yeah, or just like the wild supply of salt.
Is salt measured in grains?
No, it's not.
Because you have like a grain of rice, right? You don't have a grain of salt.
Yeah, but you don't measure rice in grains.
I do. You get read a recipe book. It says pour in 865 grains of rice.
Oh,
I'm like,
wow.
okay, here we go.
Damn, this guy. No wonder you want to eat Brussels sprouts to make them look good and pour Maltesers on your plate. That makes sense now. You're just an idiot.
Yeah, there you go. You can't, mate. Would you buy a rice counting machine, Nick?
A what? Sorry, a rice counter, like in grains.
It counts, yeah.
Yeah, Isaac, I would.
I mean, I'm thinking of starting a Kickstarter, Nick, for the world's first grain counter.
Yeah, like a bean counter, but for
it's a grain counter, Nick.
grains. Why is it called a bean counter? And does it actually count beans? Oh, hello. You've fallen through a hole.
I have. I've created. It's a hole of my own creation, Nick.
I mean, have you picked up my seeds, Isaac, by any chance? My Fluix seeds.
I have, Nick. Yeah, I'm sorry. Here you go, bud.
Thanks,
you could just make another crystal growth accelerator, and this would happen so much quicker.
Yeah, it would.
Than having to wait like this. Oh,
I'm
man.
working on other things anyway while I wait. So I've now made my import and export bus, and it's time to make some Fluix cables. Oh,
nice. But yeah, can you rice and grains, Nick? We are going to run into a slight roadblock in that different types of rice are different sizes, but don't worry about that. Okay, that's not I mean, don't.
Listen, they can do it with coins, Isaac. Coin counters.
Exactly.
Yeah,
100%. So Nicholas, I don't know if you are interested in learning today.
Yeah,
but if you do feel, Nick, like pumping your brain full of some information here, I have got some things to show you. So this is temporary. This placing, right?
Okay.
I want to set up probably one of the quadrants upstairs will end up being a cow quadrant. But you can see here, Nick, that we have cows, fluid cows. They make lava stored in tank. Nice. So with XNet, you have these XNet cables, these network cables. We've got blue ones because blue is the default.
They look nice. I like them.
Whenever you want to connect something to the XNet network, you use one of these connectors. So we can do something like this. And now this tank is connected to the XNet network, right? I might need one more connector real quick. They're not too expensive, so I think I should be able to make another one of these if you give me just un second. There we go. And so what we need, Nick, is we need an XNet controller, which looks like this. I think, yeah, the XNet controller I think also needs a connection, so I'm going to do something like that. Right. So the XNet controller is here. I'm going to put down a wireless RF transmitter just to give this thing power. I'm also going to turn down my hostile creature sound because that zombie is driving me insane, wherever the heck it is. So now, like, if you open this thing up, you'll see on the left we've got it's showing all three things that we have. Right, it's got a fluid storage tank, it's got a compacting drawer, and it's got a controller. The compacting drawer, Nick, is the drawer containing redstone. Fun fact. So, Nick, here is a heated redstone generator with a connector. Right. Now, what we can do with this is inside of here, you'll see there are like 8 channels along the top. If I click on the first one, do you see me highlight that? Does that like click for you?
No.
Okay. Can you click on the number 1?
I can, and it highlights.
And it shows on the right, it shows like energy, mechanism gas. You can click through where it says XNet energy.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And it cycles through all of a bunch of different things. So if we go to fluid and click create, it's then going to make channel 1 like a fluid line.
Right.
And so under the fluid storage tank, you'll see there's a little block there. So underneath 1, there's like a little block underneath 1. If you click on that, it creates a channel. You can click create. And then what we can do is, I believe, that we can extract the redstone from the lava from there. And then on the other machine, we can go ahead and create and insert. And so hopefully what should happen, Nick, is if you look behind you, Nick.
No.
So it's moved the lava from the fluid storage tank into the heated redstone generator.
See, so now if I put redstone in here.
Nick. Back in here, if we set up another line here and we set this one up for items instead of for fluids, create, we're going to extract from create and extract from the compacting drawer, and then we're going to create and insert into the heated redstone thing. And then look at that now, Nick. It's pulling the redstone from the storage drawer, putting it directly in the heated redstone generator. And that's just kind of the basic stuff of it. You can get a lot more detailed into it, like you can set up priorities. You can make it. What we could also do, Nick, which is pretty neat, is that we could have it so that these things like only turn on when we've got like a certain amount of redstone flux. So we could hook this up to like an energy cell somewhere. Once the energy cell is full, you know, we can tell it to stop doing this. It's pretty cool. Like with XNet, you can transfer energy, items, and fluids around all over the place, and then kind of use this controller to navigate and tell you where you want things to go. It's a really neat little setup, Nick. And we don't really need this tank. We could put these connectors right onto the fluid cows if we wanted to. And so my plan, Nick, is to have a big room full of fluid cows. You know, the redstone we're producing, we might have to start producing that faster, and then have a couple of heated redstone generators somewhere, or other generators like the heated redstone generator, and just, you know, try and use some XNet, hide the cables in the ground, produce some power. That's my plan, Nick.
That's your plan. That's your planito. Your plan doodly.
Yeah. So yeah, that's XNet in a nutshell. It's a pretty small mod, all things considered. It doesn't have a lot of stuff on it. There are like advanced connectors, and there's more stuff that you can do with it. But yeah, that's XNet, Nick. That's XNet.
XNet. It sounds quite powerful.
It is pretty, yeah, it's pretty OP, honestly. Like it does quite a good job. Unfortunately, I think right now, at least the last time I played with it, if you connect anything from Mechanism to it, it just kind of breaks. So like,
right, so that's not
don't connect it to anything from Mechanism right now.
All right.
Not the best, not the best. So while you continue working on other stuff, Nick, I think I might actually start to look into knobbly ends, because I think we're not too far off being able to make these, and I really want them.
Okay, so yeah. I mean, I want them too. But the RF things are quite good, no? Or is that?
I mean, it's just power. The only thing that I dislike about the wireless RF transmitters is a few things. One, they can only deliver 80 redstone flux per tick. So as soon as we get to more than 80 redstone flux per tick, we're going to run into an issue. And then secondarily, they can't connect to a lot of machines.
Right,
like they can't connect to the Mechanism machines. We've got to go through an intermediary. They can't connect to, you know, other machines. And I think that means that like up on the name pending floor, like right now, we've got all these Mechanism machines. And if I'm not mistaken, I think the way that this is working is that 80 redstone flux is being transferred to the leadstone energy cell, but then transferred to these 4 machines, right? But so that I think these 4 machines right now are sharing 80 redstone flux per tick from the wireless transmitters.
Yeah, so that's it.
I think we could speed it up. I think you can put more than one wireless transmitter on or near the energy cell. I'm not quite sure then, Nick. I'm not quite sure. But long story short, eventually we're going to want to get into knobbly ends. And so I think I'm going to work on that a little bit here. How is your setup going?
Yeah, it's going well. I'm almost done making a new crafting terminal for upstairs. And then it will just be a case of piping the stuff up with some ME glass cables.
ME cable. Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. Actually, you know, you want some help with that, Nick? I can make some ME glass cable if you'd like.
Oh, yes, please. Yes, please, actually. That would be ideal. I'll put some fluixy bits in the system.
I say that. I'm also kind of interested in starting to automate the sifting of soul sand, because, like, we do not have a consistent supply of nether quartz, right?
No, we don't. And that would be very useful for glass fiber cables, Isaac.
Exactly. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Like, is there a better way that we can get nether quartz? Like, we can get a nether quartz chicken fairly easily, Nick. Actually, we could jump into the chicken mod a little bit, a tiny little wee bit,
right?
And get a nether quartz chicken, because unlike a lot of the chickens in the pack, much like with the fluid cows, you have to go through like a long tree of chicken breeding to get to a usable chicken, right? Like if you want to get a diamond chicken, you've got to make a lot of chickens to get there. Whereas it looks like nether quartz is like a tier 1 chicken. It's a base chicken, so we can just make it and it'll just work.
And it'll just plop
so
out.
I think, yeah, instead of setting up a large area for... Do we have any soul sand at all? We do, nice. And so instead of setting up a large area for soul sand sifting, which I was just going to put in this like grass area over here because we got one spare chamber for sifting. But instead of setting all that up again, mostly because making soul sand is a bit difficult, you know, we'd either have to use the witch water or we'd have to set up some automation with the atomic reconstructor. I think it might be easier just to go ahead and try and set up a chicken, maybe?
Yeah. And then it'll be, you know, smaller, more efficient. Jaff?
Yeah, nice little compact. Yeah,
compact jaffing
exactly,
up.
Nick, exactly.
Yeah, we'll do that then, man. We'll do that.
I forgot that when Nick and I played Sky Adventures and we called our chickens Jeff, right? That's what you're
that's
referring
what I'm
to there.
referring to. But then Isaac's rock is also called Jaff.
My rock is also called Jeff. Yeah, man, we need to make a space for Jeff and Maureen to live, Nick? You know, right now
we
we
need like a shrine, like a
yeah,
J and M shrine.
a J and M
just
shrine.
worship them and like pump them full of stones or whatever they like.
Yeah.
What do they like, Isaac?
I mean, we can feed them, right? Like we fed them. Like, let me have a look here. I think it's like stonium. Can we make this? Yeah. So stonium is used to tame a pet rock and craft rock kibble. Excuse me?
Rock kibble? Like doggy kibble?
It's food for pet rock consumption. Nick, we can feed our rocks. How in the world do I get...
Do they get like ultra buff if we do?
Please say yes. Nick. I can't... For what? Okay, so unfortunately I can't... There doesn't seem to be a way to make stonium. Unfortunately. There's stonium ore, which you can find in the world. So maybe in the mining dimension, we might be able to find some stonium blocks.
Yeah?
And then maybe use those stonium blocks to make stonium ingots. And then you can use those to make stonium kibble, which requires a cookie. And it looks like a rock cookie that you could feed to your rock. And I mean, Nick, I've heard nothing that I want more in my life than to be able to feed Jeff and Maureen, right? That's all I want.
We have to go on a mission to do that, man. Like
100%, Nick, 100%. Definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely. All right.
Okay, I have this metallurgic infuser in which I'm going to attach an export bus, an import bus, an export bus.
Not on the metallurgic infuser. No.
Where does it go? Oh no, not on the metallurgic infuser. That's not the one. It's the enrichment, the purification chamber. That's the one.
That's the one. That is the one. All right. I've got a chicken breeder, Nick. I got 2 nether quartz chickens. The curtain's up. I got some seeds. These 2 are going to start having some fun. It is pretty slow. I'm not going to lie. The breeding process for chickens, Nick, when you don't have an acceleration wand, is pretty slow.
It's not going to be great, is it?
To give you an idea of how fast, Nick, it's at 4%, 5%, 6%.
Yeah, that ain't
7%.
That ain't great.
It's a little slow, Nick. So obviously they started 1-1-1. It'd be ideal if we could get them up to 10-10-10, you know. But again, it's a little slow. What do we need, Nick, to get the acceleration one? Like, what are we missing?
You need 2 nether stars, Isaac. I have been looking at this, and that's just for 1. So it isn't like, you know, Ultimate Alchemy where we had them just coming out of every orifice that is in our body.
Right. We also have mystical agriculture in, Nick. Right, so we can grow most resources as well. Like, there are so many ways to get resources in this pack. Like, we can sift, we can use cows, we can use chickens, we can use crops. There are so many options, Nick, in this pack. And how hard are the seeds? The seeds for the nether quartz don't look incredibly difficult? Question mark. I don't know. They don't look crazy, but I do like the idea of using chickens here. I'm just thinking, because we can get nether star seeds as well, so we can eventually like grow nether stars. That's something we could do. Ooh, I got given an induction smelter as a gift.
Oh,
that's nice. I also got the torch launcher. Nice.
Oh yeah, the torch launcher's lit.
Ooh, excuse me. I just got given a block of insanium essence.
Ooh,
that is ridiculous. Hold on a second, then.
What does that entail, Isaac? What do you get with it?
I'll tell you that in a second. Let me just finish. I got another induction smelter. I got a water candle. I got a spawner changer. And what looks like a barrel full of lava. Oh no, just a demonically gargantuan drum. So the block of... So, 1 second. Do we already have that in... Have you received one before? No. So, Insanium, I think, is the highest tier of mystical agriculture essence.
Right. So, what does that mean?
So like, it means that we can make high tier seeds fairly easily.
Oh.
Like, for example, the nether star seed that I was just talking about mere moments ago is 4 nether stars, 4 insanium essence, and a tier 6 crafting seed. Right?
Right.
It's the highest tier of essence, right? Normally you gotta go through a lot of crafting to get to it.
So you now have to make less than you would have.
Yeah, which is quite nice. It's also used to make some other important things by the looks of it, which is nice, I guess. But yeah, it's going to make life a lot easier when it comes to making some of those higher tier seeds.
There you go.
I know, right? That's crazy. Oh man, I do have the torch launcher, which is nice. I've been trying really, Nick, to get rid of all the torches around our base. Honestly, I'm not a huge torch fan.
Right. What are you placing with glowstone?
So actually, a couple of things, and it's good. I'm glad you asked, Nick, because we haven't really mentioned it at all, really. I'm replacing it with a couple of things. One of them is glowstone. You'll notice that glowstone is being used in the decoration quite a bit. But one of the main things I've been using, Nick. Oh, that's not right. One of the main things I've been using is these lanterns here. You'll notice we have one in the roof of the first room. This guy just above us.
Oh yeah,
these are called feral flare lanterns, I believe. Yeah, these are feral flare lanterns, and you put them down, and then they slowly over time cover a much larger area. And then, I think they had to place down fake lights all over the place, so you don't need them all over. And then, they just gradually cover a large area with light. So upstairs, for example, in that really big room, we've got quite a few of those under the floor. So there are multiple of those lanterns under the floor that are then lighting up the whole area, so we don't need quite as much glowstone or torches all over the place. Because I don't know about you, Nick, I'm just not a fan of having torches just everywhere. They're a bit. I don't like having torches like every 5 blocks to keep the lights going.
No, that makes sense. All right, so I can then now put the import bus under the energized smelter. Is that how it works?
Yeah, I believe so. I'm gonna come on up here real quick, so we might have to tweak the
inputs and outputs.
Yeah.
Okay. So that is the import bus, and then we can have this glass fiber cable come out and down, and then connect up to here, and then connect up to here, and then now this is all plugged in. So if I just go downstairs and finish up plugging it in downstairs, we will be good to go.
Let's have a look. So you've got it under the energized smelter. We replaced the really fast smelter with the energized smelter between episodes, just so that we don't have to mess around with trying to get the imports in on the right side. So we just have it nicely in this setup here. So this one is insert there, and then we make that one output like that, and then auto eject. I don't think we need auto eject on, but I'll put it on anyway. But yeah, I think this is ready to go, Nick.
I think the whole system is now.
Nice.
Let me come up and put the crafting table.
Before you do that, Nick, do you want to grab before you come up? No. Do you want to go back down and get an iron ore chunk so you can actually whitelist what's gonna? Because you need to specify what we're gonna export.
Yeah. Well, actually, if I put this crafting terminal down,
oh, you make a good point. Yeah.
Yeah, then we can get it from here. Where do you want it? Where are we putting it?
That's a good question, Nick, and I don't know. For now, just anywhere, I guess. Anywhere you can. That's not directly onto
just down there.
Yeah,
so that should we put it just to the side, like there for now?
Yeah, sure.
Oh,
I mean, you do need to have a cable there for that to work. Unfortunately, I don't know if I've got a bad feeling about this, Nick. Right, I've got a feeling that I've tried this before and it doesn't work. Because the fact that these pillars are multi-block marble structures, I get the feeling that if we try and use a facade there, it's just gonna look bad.
Okay, we can always move it. Here we go.
Okay. Whilst you do that, I'm gonna go. Oh, is this working? Is it hooked up?
It's hooked up. We're in. So I've got iron ore chunks. So now I can put it in the export bus whitelist. Is that right?
Yeah.
So I'll just put it in.
Correct. 1, 2, 3, 4. Nice. Let's just start pulling those chunks out of the system and putting it, where it needs to go. So yeah, look, we can make these marble pillar facades, but I think, it doesn't connect. Although, potentially, put another cable down there.
Looks gorgeous.
Also does not work. So, I mean, yeah, that sucks. I do wish we could have this. I think this looks quite nice. I think it could be cool to have two things here, but yeah, alas, we're gonna have to find another place to put those because that just doesn't work. That's fine. What's up, Nick? What's up? The bottom of this needs to be set to input, so let me change that.
Yes, there we go.
There we go. Nice. We didn't make any speed upgrades or energy upgrades or any upgrades for these, so right now they're not particularly fast or particularly energy efficient, Nick. But as I said before, between episodes we can go ahead and make more of those, make this a bit more efficient, Nick. But finally, we are producing iron. We're actually processing our iron. One thing you probably want to do, Nick, is make a capacity card for the storage bus.
So that we can have multiple things going.
Yeah. How hard is a capacity card to make? It is 1 Certus quartz crystal and 1 basic card, Nick, which requires 1 calculation processor. Do you happen to have a pure Certus quartz crystal?
I think I actually did make that calculation processor, so yeah.
Ooh. You want to go ahead and make whip up a capacity card then real quick?
Yeah.
I also think you might need more than one, because I think one capacity card gives you
It only unlocks
4
a couple of
extra
the slots, doesn't it?
Yeah, I don't think it unlocks all of them, yeah.
But I'll whack one in. Yeah, and that's unlocked 4 of the slots. And then, you know what? I'll make another one. I can make another capacity card, actually. Here we go.
Oh, man. I'm getting... My sound has returned, so I'm just going to... Whoop and whoop.
There it is.
Get rid of
Yeah,
that.
same.
Chunk. So we'll do... How many slots do we have, Nick?
We've got all the slots. 9 in total.
9. So we'll do copper, gold, lead, nickel, osmium, sure, silver, tin, aluminium, and iron?
Yeah, sure. And then I'm assuming you don't need to set any whitelist for the import bus. That's just set.
No, that should just pull whatever is in the energized smelter's output
Beautiful.
slot directly out. Yeah, so not particularly quick right now, and obviously it's going to have to cycle
Yeah,
through every single
I also
chunk.
think I've connected the I've disconnected the power because I needed to get in. There we go.
I'm so jealous, Nick, of your ability to walk on air. Like, I cannot...
Oh, it's so nice.
I cannot
I'm
get
running,
over
I've
this
only
back.
got half of my last air charm left, but it's really nice.
I don't think they're that hard to make, actually, the air charms. It's 2 nether wart, 2 nether wart, 9 bone, 3 iron, and 1 diamond is what you need. So
right.
It's not super expensive. Although we should look at getting maybe like jetpacks or maybe like an angel ring or something, Nick, fairly soon, so we don't have to worry about, you know, having to make air charms to fly about.
Yeah.
But yeah, there we go. Nice. So we now finally automated this, Nick. Holy heck. Between episodes, we'll look at making it a bit faster. I'll work on carving out maybe another quadrant or 2, depending on how much time I have between now and the next episode, Nick, so we got more space to work on some more stuff. I kind of want to start looking into a little bit of Thorncraft in the next episode, Nick, because Thorncraft, it wasn't in the first StoneBlock. They've added it for the second one, Nick, and there was a full quest line for Thorncraft. So I want to take like another quadrant and start working on Thorncraft over there, Nick. We can come back and start working on some other stuff. You know, I'll also set up some space for the cows and move the XNet stuff, Nick. And we've got like so much more chicken work that needs to be done. Let me have a look at these freaking chickens ready to go. And also, I feel like this elevator needs some work doing to it as well.
It does.
It's a bit...
I feel like the fact that you've put ceilings in the way, Isaac, doesn't help.
I mean, yeah, I guess, but I like the fact that the rooms look normal from the outset. I don't want giant shafts, you know, going up and down. Do you know what I mean? I don't want big holes all over the place, honestly. And we're back. Nick, you got disconnected briefly there. In the time it took you to get back, Nick, this chicken actually bred already. That's how freaking fast it was, but these are definitely getting quicker, Nick. If you look in there now and hover over that middle bar, you'll see like the percentages, they're going faster. You know? It's not ultra fast, but it is faster. This guy is still quite slow. This is a 111 chicken, so he's not very fast. But for example, if we take our... I don't want to take him out yet because he's doing stuff, but we replace him with like this 332 chicken. You can see already he's also a bit faster. And then you know what I will do? I'll take out our best chicken right now is a 453. This is our fastest guy. He's even a bit more faster. Between episodes, Nick, we'll try and breed that together. So we've got a 10-10-10 nether quartz chicken, at which point, you know, it's fairly easy to make multiple 10-10-10 chickens. And at which point we're going to have just nether quartz flowing out of our backsides, Nick. We're going to have some freaking much of it. It's going to be
beautiful.
But for now, I think we can go ahead and wrap up there for today, Nick. I feel like it's been a bit of a productive day. You know, we got a lot of little things done that are adding up towards a pretty nice base that we got going on here, Nick. I like it. The Stone Corporation. What's our brand name? What's our company called?
The Stone Excavators. No Stone International.
No Stone International, a Knobbly Ends Limited
Incorporated
division company.
Yeah,
Knobbly Ends Incorporated subsidiary that is working independently. Flippin' egg. But with that, guys, we're going to go ahead and wrap up there for today. As always, if you did enjoy the video, please hit like. It really does help out a lot. Leave a comment down below. Subscribe if you're new here to get notified as soon as new videos go out. As always, thanks for watching, and we'll see you guys next time.
Goodbye.